Welcome once again to Professional Questers, where I am your host, Chris, and I love tabletop role playing games. But even more than that, I love hearing about the characters in those games. I cannot get enough of them. So, therefore, I decided to interview people in the TTRPG world about the people that they love to play. Joining us today is the fabulous Geoff Barry. Geoff, can you tell us a bit about yourself, what you do, and then reveal to us who it is that you play?
Well, hello. My name is Jeff, and I've been kind of floating around like the TTRPG space for a bit. I help with a little podcast called Unbalanced Encounters, where I run their Discord community. Done a couple different events for them there. And more recently, I have been doing a podcast with a couple of my friends called Stories Told Again. And that's actually where my character comes from, Pastiche. So you'll get to meet them at some point uh, in this
Hmm.
recording. Other than that, I uh, my pronouns are any and all, so don't feel free to call me whatever you want. And I am a union electrician for my day job, and yeah, currently right now working on a hospital. So
Hey, the trades are important. The
they
trades
are,
are important.
they are keep everything going that way.
Oh, yeah. All right. So we're going to start with the basics here. What are Pastiche's pronouns?
Pastiche's pronouns are they, them.
Awesome. So I know how to call them. What class and level are they in terms of like, I know having them on a podcast, there's obviously like what
Mm,
you've played to versus what's been released. So I
yes.
know I am up to date on Stories Told Again. So I know that Pastiche recently uh multiclassed. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yes. Yes, so Pastiche right now is their first level was in Rogue, and their second level now is in Warlock. Uh, so just a little behind the scenes, kind of what I am going for is a almost bard-esque type of rogue. So I'm going with a swashbuckler, and then I'm doing a hexblade warlock with them. So yeah, they have like the essence of a bard, but they aren't. They're actually more of like a hide in plain sight type of rogue than a super stealthy one. Definitely use their words more than their feet to get into places.
I love that. It's gives me espionage vibes.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Something that we haven't said about Pastiche is that they are a changeling. So really kind of just goes hand in hand with that type of like espionage where they'll just change their form and go into a place and hopefully their silver tongue gets them into it. Otherwise, they could potentially try to sneak in, but where's the fun in that? Uh, there's not as much fun unless you can just lie to somebody's face, right?
Right? Actually, that's a perfect segue into the next question, which is can you give us a physical description of pastiche?
Yeah. So as I said, Pastiche is a changeling. They are from the Fey Wild, and uh, specifically the Summer Court of the Fey Wild. So their look is they wear usually like a really gem-toned emerald suit with just like a white shirt, no tie or anything, and it is a three-piece suit, so they have their vest as well with it, and their skin is translucent, so you can always see their skeletal or skeletal system all of the time. They have dark, dark black eyes. There is no way to see, or there is no difference between the sclera or pupils or iris at all. It's just all black. If you got really close, then you could probably see a little bit of a difference, but basically just looks like black eyes.
For
They
all
have
intents and
long,
purposes.
yeah. Uh, uh, they have some more elven features in their true form, but they're more elongated. So really long, pointed ears. Probably, I would say between closer to like 8 to 10 inches off of their head for
Wow.
pointed ears, and they have white hair, long white hair that has bursts of color, kind of like if somebody just threw chalk into their hair of different pastels all through. Uh, and they have all sharp teeth.
I love that. That's a good vibe. It's a good vibe. Also, like new hair inspo.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a lot of hair, so just do what I can, but
I've got some, but I've never dyed it or anything, and I don't know how well. Man, I would have to like completely bleach it to even try to get Pastiche's hair, but it would be cool.
next one is a little bit of a it's a big broad one, but it's you can tell me what you're comfortable with at time of
Mhm.
what's been released. But
Yeah.
what is Pastiche's story? Like what do we know so far?
So far, Pastiche is part a of an acting troupe from the Feywild. So they'll pop in to the material plane at random points in time, usually at small towns, and they'll perform plays. They'll set up like a circus and have like different events that people can do. Basically, just bring levity to a place for a short amount of time. Then they'll disappear and they may never come back, or they will. And for Pastiche, this they've been to places multiple times, but to them it could have been like 2 weeks worth of time, but it could have been 80 years for the people of the material plane. Since the Wild and the material plane just kind of mesh in a strange way, and time doesn't really mean anything for them in the same way that it does for the material plane. Like people could live a full life before Pastiche would ever see them again.
I think that that dynamic between the Feywild and the other planes is something that is always very, if not fun, interesting to play around with.
Oh yeah.
Time and things like memory are very fascinating to me, and I incorporate them in a lot of my plots. That and magic knives. Um,
What's not to like about a magic knife?
exactly. Listen to stories told again, and you'll hear about a magic
Hmm.
knife.
Yeah, two of them maybe.
Ooh. Yeah, it always is something that like in my experience kind of tugs at my heartstrings because like you said, you could go what feels like 2 weeks and then suddenly it's been like 100 years and everyone you knew from such a town is gone and you're like, oh no. Um,
Yeah, and it's actually I've always been very very fascinated with the Feywild and kind of that dynamic as
mhm.
well of just the weird time uh time dilation that happens with it. It really before like being a part of Stories Told Again, I was the forever GM or people, and so I played a lot of different ones, and a huge themes for me were usually tied to nature in some way with some like fey type of aspect to it, where I just think that the fey are just so interesting because they're so human like in appearance, but they're so alien at the same time. They don't think like humans do, or like in the frame of like Stories Told Again, they don't think like people from the material plane because we're just used to seeing the world in one way. And how can you think of like something that is supposed to be of the earth, of the world still, that just sees it in such a different way, slightly like almost immortal in a sense, or can seem immortal, but they're just long lived and they have a different sense of what really matters.
Hmm.
And that's always been just so much fun to kind of look at, is to see how you can make them seem so likable but also dangerous in a way.
Absolutely. That is a fun dynamic to play with, and it just chef's kiss. uh, what drives Pastiche?
A good time for the most part. Like, honestly, for Pastiche doesn't necessarily look too far ahead for anything, because why would they? Uh, Usually they'll look and see what's right in front of them, and that's the thing that is interesting to them in that moment. And that could be for a good long time, or it could be for 5 minutes, who knows. And so they just go through the world like a wrecking ball, at some points, really. They can be as precise as they want to be, but they have to have a reason. If they don't have a reason, then they're just going to be going and doing their own thing for whatever they want to be doing it for.
Do they ever get introspective enough to understand maybe what is, beneath the surface of their motivations? Or is that something that maybe they don't want to address?
So this is the strange thing about Pastiche, is they seem very aloof, but they're actually very introspective, and also kind of they they do take in the world around them the whole time too. So they seem like they're not really paying attention, but they can get deep. There's been a couple times within the podcast so far, and more to come, obviously, where you really get to kind of like see Pastiche's thought process, especially when it comes to death, or um, to just life in general. Uh, Really, what, like, they believe more that just living in the moment and being present in the moment is the thing that is the most important, because you never know when something is going to end. So why not enjoy what is in front of you now?
Audience, I'm nodding, by the way. I'm trying to think of a good response, and I'm just like, nope, nope, he said it. I just think that that's a really good philosophy to have. I mean, obviously, it's not the only philosophy, but as someone who I I personally have had a lot of loss in my life, and I do kind of go through life in the moment because I don't know if something's going to be there the next time I go to visit someone or look something up or look for something I have inevitably misplaced. So it speaks to me. It's poignant for me, and I like that Pastiche explores that sort of philosophy.
Mhm.
However, though, is there anything that they truly deeply fear?
Ooh, that is a really good question. I don't think that they found it, or they found that yet. I don't think that they have found something that they absolutely truly fear. Um, there is more of knowing when you are outmatched, and uh, thinking of them more of like a fox or something, where a fox is still a predator. They know what they can fight and what they cannot. So like that, or a small cat, or like whatever. Like, you know your hierarchy in the food chain. And yes, you are higher in that food chain, but that doesn't mean that you don't have other predators out there. And for Pastiche, they're always in a form of growth. So right now, they know that, that there are things out there that definitely can kill them. But they also have the thought process that anything can die. That power is not infinite, and there is always a way for something story to end. And that could be a god for all they care. Like, you you think that you are infinite, but you are not. Your energy can go somewhere, and it will go. And it's just a matter of time, even if that time is long.
That made me think of two things. First, tangent. That's exactly what my shadow sorcerer is trying to do right now. She's very close to her end game, but she is trying to kill a god. So it's like that's a very, very relevant perspective for me. um, I think she and Pastiche would possibly get along. Anyway, tangent over. How do you think Pastiche would react when they find something they truly deeply fear?
Bargaining, probably more than anything. They It's either that, first words, and then running, would probably be it to fight another day. Um, they're not necessarily afraid of death, but they won't die out of just being stupid as well. Like, they'll they they have like a survival instinct, and
Mhm.
sometimes that just means that, hey, it's time to roll over, show your belly for a second, and then wait for them to put their guard down so you can either escape or possibly get in an attack to disarm them or whatever. But yeah, for fear, it would probably just be more like, oh, okay, all right, I'm done now. What do you want? What do you want? I am not going to step to you at the moment.
They play the long game.
Yeah. I mean, Fae are long lived. They can do
Fair.
that.
Yep. They can do that. That is true. So normally I ask if they have any like quirks or mannerisms, but having listened to the show, I think it's safe to say that Pastiche has more than one.
Oh yeah. Yes, yes, they
What's your
do.
favorite thing that Pastiche does, or like your favorite quirk of theirs to play?
So I myself am a pescatarian, and for people that don't know what a pescatarian is, it's basically a vegetarian that also eats fish. So Pastiche is also a vegetarian, so they just don't eat meat at all. And there's been a couple times where that has come up in the podcast and in things that we have recorded that haven't released yet. And it's just it I think that that is fun because you can see, like, how the world necessarily responds to it. uh just kind of like how in real life, like, it can always be funny of like where people kind of scoff at it in certain circles and everything, like, oh, I could never not eat meat and blah blah blah. And just seeing how that can be also. I think another really fun quirk of theirs is they're Fey deals, which always curious of what other people get in return for services rendered or what they get in return for a service rendered. And if you're not good at deals, or if it seems like somebody is being slighted, more if Pastiche is being slighted, they will hold on to that. That is a lot of fun.
Is it like a? I imagine it's not like a grudge holding kind of thing, but like they definitely, store that away in their mind,
Hmm.
right?
Oh, it's definitely kind of like when you're playing one of those Telltale games, you'll see just over in the top left corner, Pastiche will remember that uh, all the time.
Yep. Yep. No,
There is
oh
a
gosh.
NPC right now that, especially in the release stuff, that there is some beef that Pastiche holds with a certain possum in the world. Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to spoil the possum stuff, but I love the possum stuff. Go listen to the podcast because the possum stuff is great. I have plans with Austin.
Yeah.
Austin is the DM for anyone listening. What would you say that Pastiche's flaws are? And then I think comparatively, what would Pastiche say that their flaws are?
Well, I would say that Pastiche's flaws are that they trust people way too quickly. They tend to think that everybody is a friend until they're proven not to be. So, uh, giving people the benefit of the doubt that possibly shouldn't be getting the benefit of the doubt is a big thing for them. But once that's broken, they're ready, and like they they don't hold it, like even their party members, which it might be strange to find out, but like even their party members, if they had to, they they would, they just would, and they probably wouldn't feel too much remorse about it. They might be sad for a spell, but not anything too long, um, because it just needed to happen. Um, what Pastiche would say their flaws are is none.
I had a suspicion.
Yeah.
So, this next one, I asked your castmate Tiffany this too and got a very unexpected answer. But Tiffany also said that I should ask you the same thing. So,
Okay.
the show that you play on is called Stories Told Again. Does
Hmm.
that mean that you've played Pastiche before?
In a way, yes. Yes. I'm not going to say too much about it because it is a big thing, but there is something that is happening in the background of this, of the whole podcast and of the whole story. So I have played a form of pastiche.
Nice. I'll get those secrets one way or another.
Yeah, I'm sure that Tiffany probably gave you possibly close to the same answer
Tiffany
ish.
gave me less.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, here I am being the blabbermouth.
That's okay. I
I could
mean,
see Tiffany just going, no comment.
it just gives me more fodder for my theories.
All I'll say is redacted.
That's my favorite answer.
Yes.
So even beyond show spoilers, when this pastiche was made, um, Were there like phases or iterations of them that you went through before landing on who you play now?
So through the process of just making pastiche, Austin and I had a lot of different talks. He gave me a huge like document that he had like different questions and asked me to fill them out. And just like really basically probably everybody that makes a character, you put a little bit you do a little slice of yourself in them. And so this is like pastiche is a small chunk of my brain, how my brain can think in certain times. And so it's more, I guess I always say that pastiche is more of kind of like a fugue state of when I play them. I turn off my brain in a way when they they come to the forefront and I think like them for a moment until I need to be like, okay, now I need to think like a player again. And then basically whenever I talk as pastiche, it's just pastiche doing their thing. But
You become the pastiche.
yes, I become the pastiche. And uh for for it, like I had an idea of what I wanted them to be like. And it was like I had said before, just like the Fae has always been something that has been held to close to my heart. So being able to play some character from the Fae Wild for a prolonged amount of time, I wanted to really kind of like delve into their thought processes a little bit more, what that necessarily meant, what they do hold dear, and what they don't, what how they would react in certain situations. So I mean, just like taking a shower or doing other things, just something in the back of my mind, thinking about like how I react to this, but how in the certain situation that this is happening now in my life, how would pastiche deal with that? Oh, that's terrifying. Maybe like, yeah, it's good that they are just a brain gremlin and not an actual gremlin out in this world
Oh
because
god.
they would just create chaos all over the place.
Chaos. The true chaos gremlin. Sometimes it's good that characters stay on paper,
Yes.
so to
Yes,
speak.
it's the id. Like just think of like pastiche is id, pure id, just thinking what they think and saying what they say. Uh doing what they do. Like that is what it is. Basically, almost think like a 5-year-old, and then
Mhm.
you've got pastiche at a point, and a very intelligent 5-year-old, but still kind of like that impulse control of a 5-year-old
Mhm.
more than anything.
So something that just popped into my head that I'm going to add here is Pastiche's name. I I have my own thoughts on it, but I want to hear
Mhm.
from you. What was kind of the impetus behind Pastiche's name?
So pastiche's name is more kind of Austin let me do a lot with changelings within the world. So most of the stuff that is changeling lore is kind of like uh, a full working of both him and I
Okay,
for it. So at
that's
least
cool.
with my naming at least for pastiche, I was thinking, ooh, what would be really cool to kind of have for a name. Well, they're a changeling, which means that they are a hodgepodge of things. They can be whatever they want to be, like a pastiche of something, or like different different ways to talk about like uh, I almost called them menagerie or other different things, but I liked pastiche more than the other uh, words that kind of hit there. Like hodgepodge was on the board as well, but I was like, hodgepodge sound it's not as much fun to say as
Hodgepodge
pastiche.
sounds like a goblin.
It does, right? But it um mesh other different types of words in that type of kind of net is what I was going for that. And I was thinking that could probably be like something that they like all changelings have, but maybe it is just closer to pastiche. We'll have to see whenever we see another changeling what that's like.
Ooh, I want to see another changeling now. Speaking of like the impetus behind things, Pastiche has a very unique appearance. So, like, what kind of ideas and inspiration were behind their look? And like, is that connected to like the idea that you were talking about, like behind their name as well, like being a hodgepodge, a mishmash, a menagerie kind of dealio?
So I wanted a changeling to look alien. Like if you look in like the player's handbooks or Eberron where the changeling was introduced, they kind of have the same look, like the black eyes, everything. So there's some traditional like looks of a changeling that pastiche holds over.
Mhm.
But I was like, ooh, what could I do more to make them a little more alien? And then I started thinking of axolotls. And I
Ooh.
was like, oh, yeah, the translucent lucent skin of like an axolotl, that would be really cool to just have as a character as well. And then the sharp teeth, I think, is just kind of fun to have somebody who is a vegetarian have extremely
Mhm.
predator-like teeth. Uh, is just interesting to me.
How do they chew their food then? You don't have to answer that. I'm just like thinking like vegetables, sharp teeth.
They shred it.
That's fair.
Yeah, they just pierce it over and over and over again, like until it's gone. But they're also a changeling, so if they really needed
It's
to,
fair.
they
They
could
could
change
just
their
like
teeth. Yeah.
get molars.
Yep.
You did touch on this slightly earlier about pastiche representing like a part of you. Was there anything like any part of you or any part of the outside influence of the world that you wanted to explore through pastiche?
Oh, that's a great question. Um, I think that honestly, hmm, I think that more of what I wanted to explore with pastiche is as as an adult that lives in the world that we live in. We are just flush with routine. We have so much that we have to do. We have to get up at a certain time, go to work, then from work, what do you do when you get home? Oh, that starts becoming routine. All of these different things that you do throughout the week just become mundane, and I wanted to kind of explore what it would be like to be somebody that was not locked down by a routine, that didn't even think of routine uh, as an option, that more liked to go off of the cuff for everything, that doesn't necessarily have a plan, doesn't want a plan. They'll sign on to a plan for a little bit, but that is never necessarily what their first thought is, oh, we need to plan absolutely everything out. Um, and just living in that space, being able to kind of not have to worry about that just for a little bit and see what that is like has been a lot of fun.
So as you've explored that then, is there anything that you've learned about yourself as you've played Pastiche?
I have learned that yes, I am a creature, more of a creature of routine. That I myself like routine, knowing exactly what I can do or have things planned out. I also found out that I might have ADHD, and so I started getting diagnosed for that while playing, and yeah, and so, like, it has helped out in different ways just for my life, as well, being able to kind of dissect a little bit about that, because that is kind of like I guess the dichotomy of me is that I do like routine, I do well with routine, but I've never always, or not never, but I have to force myself a lot of the times to be able to continue to do the routine that I like, and because my brain will just decide to go a different way.
Mhm.
So being able to play in the space of just letting the ADHD go fully is, and not having to mask it, I guess, is uh has been cathartic in a way, for sure.
That was actually, and I know I've mentioned this in the Discord, but or I've mentioned that I have this character in the Discord, but my changeling character from ages ago was kind of the same thing. They were a way for me to let loose without real life consequences, I guess. They did absurd things, absolutely absurd things, and they were adorable, and that's kind of how they got away with it. But it was a way for me to not have to mask, which is funny because you're like putting on a character.
Mhm.
So you're kind of putting on a mask, but in putting on this one mask, you're taking off the mask that is the real life burden that you bear when, especially when you are neurodivergent, like you are and like I am. So it's a really cool way to free yourself and explore yourself. And I lost my train of thought, but like, do you, does that make sense?
No, it makes absolute sense. It really does. Like, there's a difference between, like, wearing a having to live in the world, and be able to do things like being able to play a character and being able to survive in just everyday life are two completely different things.
Oh
And
yeah.
really, any actor will say that when you embody a character, it is like letting a different part of yourself live for a
Mhm.
moment, and
Absolutely.
you get to explore a different part of yourself. Even people that aren't method actors, in general, there's hardly a way to do a form of acting without being a little bit method. Um, Even
Mhm.
the people that say that they're not, there's no way that you can play somebody that is like just struggling with a huge amount of grief without thinking about some grief that you have had in your life, to be
Mhm.
able to kind of embody it in a way. Or at least, I mean, I'm not gonna even though I said that any actor will tell you it, I'm sure that there are some people that will say, "Oh no, I don't have to do that." And well, good for you. But like
Good for
I
you, but press X to doubt.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like there I don't see a way of being able to really embody some some character without pulling on a little bit. of your trauma or even your happiness, like just your life experience in general, just to be able to embody something. So, yeah.
That just sparked so many of my like performance theory brain cells, and I'm like, we don't have time for that.
we'll go we'll go on a whole tangent. This will be a whole different type of podcast.
Oh my god. This is my theater podcast.
Yeah.
So, what are you hoping you'll get to do with Pastiche? Like, what kind of going along with that also is like, what kind of ideas do you have that you'd like to work on with the DM Austin? And you don't have to spoil anything, but like,
Yeah.
what kind of ideas do you want to explore? What kind of concepts are you looking for? Was there any kind of not like a set story path, but maybe like elements that you were like, I think Pastiche would benefit from having this obstacle put in their way or something like that?
Well, there is one obstacle that has just recently come up in the podcast. And that was one that Austin and I worked on together. Like having something there. Just I don't know, people that aren't caught up with the podcast, this is going to get a little spoiler for basically up to episode 10 right now.
You
So
have been warned.
they're they're being hunted, like they are. So it was interesting to see. I didn't even know when that scene happened how exactly Pastiche was going to react. uh,
Oh,
I had no idea that I was going to have a knife in my back. um, and so I that was the first thing that came to my head was that Pastiche was going to be like, oh, a little flirty. They were going to push it back, and then show that they were not afraid. Like, oh, go ahead, do it. I want to see you. Like,
would
are you
be.
going to play with your food or not? And so, yeah, just just seeing how far that they could push the envelope uh, with that. And that was interesting. But that was something that Austin and I had talked about and kind of worked on together, uh, kind of even before we started recording fully. So it it was in the works for a while, and so to have that payoff come through was a lot of fun.
I love that. Yeah, I'm actually very invested in that storyline now too. Because also Pastiche is like, ah, Pastiche.
I'm glad that you're liking pastiche. Like I see that's the thing about like creating something, putting something out there. You're never 100% sure how people are going to react uh to a character, and especially somebody that is as chaotic and doesn't really give as much of a shit as maybe they should. Like either it can come off endearing, or it can come off like, oh, fuck this guy. And luckily, it seems like people are liking them, and I'm happy for that. Like I really am. That warms my heart a lot. So, uh, I mean, Pastiche is my baby. I love Pastiche, and so I'm just happy to see that other people love them as well. So,
Pastiche is definitely the one that I gravitated towards almost instantly. I have a soft spot for changelings, first of all, but like uniqueness is something that I really gravitate towards and identify with, not in like, oh, I'm a snowflake kind of way, but like a individuality and self-expression kind of thing. Just the fact that Pastiche doesn't really give a fuck, but like not in like a, like a not in like a malicious way. Um,
we say that when the first scene is them poisoning a person to get the lead role. So
I would qualify that as mischief.
Yeah, I mean, it was Epicac. It was Epicac. It wasn't
It
poison. Let
wasn't
me let me be clear.
poison.
Yeah, they weren't going to die.
Technicalities.
Yeah, they just were going to vomit a lot,
A
and that's
lot.
all. That's just a minor discomfort for a little bit. And who knows if they got poisoned beforehand? Now they're not. So that's good. Maybe Pastiche was helping. Who knows?
Last question for you, Jeff. What advice would you give Pastiche?
Oh boy. Um, I think that I would probably tell Pastiche that they should probably sit and listen more before acting. That yes, shiny things are cool and they are interesting, but maybe look at them before actually going and doing the thing that immediately comes to your mind.
One of those days is going to come back to bite them.
Mhm, probably.
Maybe, huh? Once again, it's time to say goodbye to Jeff for a little while and talk to our other special guest, Pastiche, played by Geoff Barry. Hi, Pastiche.
Oh, hello. Uh, Someone here?
Here is relative, but yes.
Well, I do not see you, but I hear you, and you're coming out clear, and that's good.
So, how are you today?
Oh, well, I'm a little hungry, but other than that, I'm doing quite well. I found a nice leaf on the ground. Did you leave this here?
Yes.
Oh, well, you should hold on to your belongings a little bit better than you are. But if you're not going to, this isn't yours anymore. And Pastiche just puts it in their back pocket.
It's okay. You can have it.
Well, now I don't want it. Takes it out and puts it back on the ground.
Well, in that case, I'll take it back. Fine. Just jettison my gift. It's fine. Hey, Pastiche, can I ask you some questions?
Oh, sure.
How did you get started with the performing troupe? Or alternately, what made you want to be a performer?
Well, so I started with the with the troupe because Josta said, "Hey, I want you to act," and I said, "Okay." And then we started to act together. And I like plays, so I read a lot of them, and then I decided that I could do that. I could be in those. And so first I played a dead body, and then I played Little Boy 1, and then Little Girl 2, and then I was the Fractal King.
Wow. That's a shot right up there.
Oh, there were other roles there from different things, but mostly dead bodies. I make a very good dead body.
I will keep that in mind if I ever need a dead body.
Well, I hope you don't need one, but I do know where you could procure one if you ever did. Wink.
Thank you, Pastiche.
You're
What's
welcome.
your favorite part of the Feywild?
Oh, one time I found a field that turned out to be a lake that was just green.
Okay, that's actually really cool.
hmm it looked like grass, but then you went inside and it was water, and there was no grass there. I tried to even pull some of the grass, and then it just turned out to be spaghetti.
Did you eat any?
Oh, of course. It tasted like grass.
God, ew.
It was all right. It was like a sweet grass,
Okay, that's not the worst. It's better than like a bitter grass.
but the bitter grass can actually be very good too. Especially, have you heard of lemongrass?
Yeah, I've heard of lemongrass.
Now, in the Feywild, there is grass lemons and then there is lemongrass, but the grass lemons taste like grass and the lemon grass actually tastes like a lemon, and that lemon is probably the most bitter but sweet at the same time. It's a delight. And I would suggest if you go to the Feywild, get lost, wander for about 3 days, but you won't know what a day is when you're there. So just wander around for a long time until you forget that what you were trying to do in the first place. And then at that point, you will find lemongrass or a spider that will eat your face. I will not tell you which one will happen, but one of those will, or 100 different other things that could happen as well. But those two are the most likely.
Noted. Um, I I don't I don't think they put that on the travel websites.
What's a website?
It's a magical place. It's like so you know like a crystal ball? We have we kind of have crystal balls here, but it's big and square and then you can just like go and look up anything you want. It's called the internet.
Oh, weird. That's interesting because when I thought of a website, when you first said it, what I thought was where the spider that eats your face lives, because he lives in a
No.
web and it's his site.
Technically you are correct, but there's a different type of website. It's called the World
Well, there
Wide
are
Web,
a lot of
which is
different
not
spiders.
which is not like a spider uh
I didn't know that the material plane had other things that made webs. I guess it's silkworms make webs, right?
you make cocoons. You know, tomato tomato.
Yeah, that's a web around you.
That's fair. You know what? I will give you that.
I know, I'm very smart.
That you are, Pastiche, that you are. Do you still find yourself experiencing some culture shock every time you come back to the material plane, especially
No.
considering that time passes so differently between there and the Feywild?
No, no. I honestly, every time that I come to the material plane, I am so intrigued by everything that is happening around me. Like one time, there was a volcano that was about to explode, and we performed our play with just volcanic ash falling all over us, and I was playing a dead body at that point. So I had my mouth open and I just got filled with ash, and Josta felt really bad, but she said that I was doing a very good job because that is exactly what a dead body would do. They would not close their mouth, they would just let it fill up. So I got best dead body in that play for that performance, and she gave me a golden apple for that. So I was happy there. Um, what was the question again?
do, do you still find yourself experiencing a culture shock of sorts between the Feywild and the material plane going back and forth, considering the time dilation stuff?
Oh, well, no, no, because everything is strange and everything will be strange all of the time. So as long as you just live in strangeness, you will be fine with everything that is strange around you.
Pastiche, you just blew my mind a little bit, so I'm just gonna like take a second. Okay, there, I
Take
took a
your
second.
time. Okay.
That that just sparked a lot of thoughts, just like real talk. um, Do you treat your new companions, the ones that you have made in Hava, the town that you're in,
Oh,
differently
that's the
than
name
your
of the
old
town.
ones from the troop?
Well, uh, I no and yes. There is always a time where you're trying to figure out the people that you are with, and these new ones are interesting, just like the old ones were. Um, but I think that these ones are more interesting at the moment. I think that, I mean, we fought a robot together and we beat that robot that ended up being someone's father, Vox's father, and that was sad, but also necessary. Otherwise, we would have died and other people would have died. So I am happy that we did that. And it's all, all right. All right. 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 Yes. Yes. It is good that we did that. And if you thought that it was a crime, you are wrong, and we are heroes. Yes.
I mean, that's flawless logic in my brain. So, touching more on people that you are with now, your current uh, sometimes the word is party, but you could call them group, your companions, your newfound friends, even perhaps.
Yes.
Um,
I would say they're my
how do you
friends.
feel? Good. um, how do you feel about these people that you spend your time with now? And I know you said they're interesting, but what about them makes them interesting?
Well, so Vox is interesting because they make a lot of different things uh, with their hands. They gave me a bomb and then took it away from me after not letting me use it to explode things. So that's very, very interesting. They like to tinker. I like to tinker as well. So we have that in common. Uh, Luce is a very sweet little baby boy that is a lot bigger than everybody, like a lot bigger than everybody, like big baby. And we are small people. And th- he has a friend that is a death god, and I think that's very interesting. Then there is Liv, who who has somebody that they like to explode a lot, and it's fun. I met them. Their name is Casper, and Casper is a lot of fun. And honestly, they're a good roommate. Liv is. You'd think that they would smell, but honestly, they don't smell that much. They don't take showers that often or baths, but uh, they have a pretty delightful scent, even though that's the case.
I guess that's a perk for a roommate. Yeah,
Yeah, nobody wants a stinky roommate
I I would not. That's for sure.
unless you're the stinky roommate. Then you wouldn't know because unless people were rude and just told you, right? I don't smell. I do. I smell. Hey, smell me.
No, I. What do you think you smell like?
I smell like I don't know. I never smelled myself before. Just a second. I'm going to think really hard. I smell like lilacs. Is that right? Do I smell like lilacs?
Lilacs and like, have you been around barbecue chips recently?
Oh, yes. They are mainly what my mattress is made out of.
Okay, that would explain it. You might be the smelly roommate. Not gonna lie.
Oh, but those are lives. I might be nose blind to it. Maybe we both smell like barbecued potato chips right now. And Nobody has told us. At least I smell a little bit like lilacs, though. I
I
I
did
don't
I
think that
did
that would
catch the
good.
scent of lilacs.
Okay, good because I made myself smell like lilacs.
It worked. It worked. Uh,
That's good.
yep. What's something you've done that brings a genuine smile to your face?
Oh, um, I really I like to sit below trees and just look at the leaves every once in a while, and sometimes just fall asleep there and let my roots go and just be there with the world for a moment and take naps. Naps make me happy, but only when I decide to take the naps. When other people decide to make me nap, I do not like that, and I will be cross with them because that usually means that I was knocked out. And when I'm knocked out, I'm not very happy when I get up.
That considered a nap?
Well, you fell asleep, right? That's a nap. It's a
Thinking like
forced nap.
magical sleep. Forced nap. Okay, forced nap. I will concede to that. What kind of story do you want people to tell about you?
I want them to tell the correct story. Now, that story does not have an ending yet, but if it were to have an ending, I would hope that it would be a good one and not one that people would give a thumbs down to. So, if it were up to me, I would say that Pastiche lived forever after as the Fractal King and ruled over everyone justly and defiantly.
Good goals. Gotta set those goals high.
Absolutely. They're in my future, and I know them to be true.
So, Pastiche,
Yes,
I'm going to ask you to look inside yourself for this one. Not like physically. I
I
mean,
can
I
do
guess you
that.
could.
You know that, right?
Yeah,
I
I was
could
going
do
to say
that.
you can. I was going to say, I know you can do that, but I need you to dig into your soul for this one.
Okay.
What are you looking for? And I don't
Right.
mean like treasure or some material, whatever. Like what do you desire deeply, deeply that you haven't found yet?
Oh, well, hmm. Well, right now, I just want to make Josta happy, and Josta wants me to bring her a wonderful story, and so I want her to be happy with what I do. So I'll make it the best story I can for her. No matter how it turns out, it will be one for the ages. So that's what I hope for, and that's what I would like to do for her and for myself as well. Yes, for myself as well, I believe. Yes.
Kind of sounds like Jasta is a very important person to you, more than just, your group leader or anything. What what influence, what effect does Jasta have for you that, what makes her so special?
Oh, well, Josta is the reason that I have done more of the things that I have done within the world. Uh, she is the one that has given me a place to go and things to do. Before her, I don't remember a world before her as much. Um, so life has been what Josta has made it for me, and that's a good thing, not a bad thing. I would say that just is like my mother in a way, as much as a changeling could have a mother. So yes, ju- I just want to make her proud and make her happy with what happens.
I can respect that very much so. So here's another big question. If you could change anything at all and have it stick, what would it be? It can be big or small, now or then, here, there, literally anything.
I know exactly how I would answer this question. I would get more items from Paya for taking all of my eyelashes and my handkerchief. For if she did not cheat me, then I would be fine with everything in this world. But right now, I do not trust her, and I will not trust her until she gives me a reason to. So, I would say that I would change, that I would trust Paya. But I do not, and I will not.
Honestly, that's justified, I think. You get scammed. You don't necessarily have great feelings towards the scammer.
Mm-mm. No, no, you do not.
You still have those slightly soggy apricots, though, or did you trade
Mm-hmm.
those?
No, I have those. Yes. Wetter than usual
Wetter than
apricot.
usual. That's what it was.
Yes.
I just honestly, I don't want them. I was just curious if you still had them.
You can have one, but what would I get in return?
A lovely drawing of you.
Okay. Sure. I will give you an apricot, a wetter than usual apricot, when I get a drawing.
Deal.
Deal.
Okay. Rapid fire. Ready?
Yes.
Favorite color?
Everything.
Good one. Favorite animal?
A turkey.
Favorite food?
Turkey. No, I don't like turkey. I don't eat turkey. Sorry, I just thought of turkeys. You said rapid fire, so I was trying to be really fast, and that was the first thing that I thought of. I like hash.
Okay.
Breakfast hash.
Uh, breakfast hash is really good. A pet peeve of yours?
Oh, being boring.
Do you have any cool party tricks?
Yes, and they turn into you.
If I start moving, do they mirror me?
Yes, everything that you do.
Oh my god, that's amazing. I actually get to see myself face to face. That's perfect.
Hmm.
What's a power you wish you had?
Flight.
Okay. And this is the last one. Well, it's the last rapid fire one, I should say. Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
One horse-sized duck,
How come?
because I could rip out its tongue, and I
Okay,
know where the heart is on a duck.
fair. Uh, do you not know where the heart is on a horse?
No.
I'm not going to ask about that. Anyway, last question for you, Pastiche. And this one is a little special. A little special. What advice would you give your player?
Oh, them. Oh, I, Jeff, wherever you are, I think that you should just not worry. Quit your job. Quit your job. Go and kick a tree just for no reason. and without a shoe, just kick it to see how it would feel. And if it hurt, then you did it wrong. And I hope that you learn how to kick right.
J- Yes. Yes, yes. Well, thank you so much, Pastiche. It's been lovely talking with you.
Okay.
Here's another leaf, and a leaf falls into Pastiche's
Oh,
lap.
thank you. Oh, this one's nice.
It's like a
Where
nice
did you get it?
golden color with some red on the edges.
Ooh, I know exactly what to do with this. Puts it in their back pocket.
All right, so we're gonna welcome Geoff back. Hi,
Hello.
Geoff.
Hi.
Thank you so much, Geoff, for being on this show.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
And thanks so much, everyone of you, for listening to the podcast. Links to Stories Told Again and all of Jeff's socials and my socials, everything else will be in the episode description. Geoff, is there anything else you'd like to say?
Hey guys, if you liked Pastiche in this, I suggest that you go and check out Stories Told Again. You can find it on any podcasting app, anywhere. Give it a rate. Give it like 5 stars if you really like it. That would really help us. I know that for sure. It's it's a wild ride. We've had a lot of fun creating it, and we hope that you guys have a lot of fun listening to it.
I do, and I second everything that Geoff just said. If you want to support professional questers, the best thing you can do is leave a good review and spread the word. If you'd like, also, though, you can donate through Ko-Fi, and a single donation, like once ever right now, gets you access to all of the very good bonus content and rewards, including bloopers and extra interviews and character art done by yours truly. You can also follow us on Instagram and Threads and join our Discord community, all in the links below. Have a wonderful day, and I hope your adventures are always good ones. Say bye!
Goodbye.